So the Carolina Panthers are a pretty bad football team. They're the only team without a win yet this season.
No, we were 0-6.
And it really just feels like
0-6 is insane.
Nothing's working in Carolina.
Insane, bro.
Now, there were a lot of eyes on Carolina this offseason.
And Bryce is looking good, bro.
They traded with the Bears to get, and then they went on to draft.
Bro, we had all the pieces. We just need a defense. We don't fuck around and gave all our pieces away, and the defense is
draft Bryce Young first overall.
Mid.
But man, Bryce Young has struggled this season. But it's not just
Bryce
Bryce
ain't
Young.
that bad.
This whole team is really, really rough, and it's painfully obvious week in and week out. Now, over these past 2 weeks, there's some good things about the Panthers and some bad things. The good things is the Panthers have scored 20-plus points in back-to-back weeks. The bad thing is they've given up 42 points.
Like, that's insane. That's insane. I didn't even watch the game yet. That's insane.
In both of those losses.
That is insane. I checked. We was up 14-0. I was happy.
Nobody said
I was so happy.
The Panthers lost 42-21 to the Dolphins.
That's insane. I gotta see how that happened.
14-0 to start the game.
This one I start watching, bro.
I mean, at one point, I was shook. I texted Jackson, like, no way the Panthers are winning this game. There was a point in time where it looked like they maybe had a shot, but the Dolphins are just too good, and they really shouldn't have been there in the first place. There really is an immense talent gap between these two teams. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the Panthers are the only winless team.
Oh, we should have kept that black coat, man.
And to make matters even worse, they don't even have the first rounder that they would have at this upcoming draft because they traded it to the Bears in that deal to get the first overall pick. So it's not like you're tanking for anything right now either. No matter how good or bad you are, it just either hurts or benefits.
Insane.
No, it's not like the Carolina
I gotta deal with this next year too.
Have been completely incompetent in every single week of this season. They have been somewhat competitive in a couple of games. They lost 21-13 to the Vikings in week 4, and that was technically a one-possession game. Then they lost to Seattle 37-27.
That shit. This game right here really pissed me off.
So I think
after this, I didn't sit down and watch another Carolina game. That game really pissed me off.
Even though they did lose today. Then they barely lost 20-17 to the Saints in week 2. That loss doesn't look great. The Saints aren't that great of a team this year, even though they absolutely clapped the Patriots last week. And then they lost to the Falcons 24-10 to open the season. So yeah, they've been somewhat competitive in these games, barring these past 2 weeks, because these past 2 weeks have just not been good for them. There was a point in time where you could have even convinced
the whole offseason. I was like, bro, ain't gonna lie, we the king of the South. We was the king of the South, bro. We was the king of the South. Now it's the fucking
had somewhat of a
Falcons.
Shot of winning
Falcons
the
ain't even
NFC
that good.
South, just because of how bad it was projected to be in the offseason. But really, at this point, it's anybody but the Panthers division to take. Like, if somehow the Carolina Panthers
look at we got Thielen, Louvu, Burns
win the division, something had to go really wrong for every other team. Like, they had to kidnap all the starters. It's just not happening. This really isn't the year of the Panthers, but I mean, that's okay. There really isn't enough talent on this team to really be competitive in this league, at least with the top end of it, and it's making things really, really difficult for Bryce Young. Now, it's really no secret that Bryce Young hasn't really looked that great this season. With that being said, I feel like what he's done this season so far hasn't been very out of the ordinary for a rookie quarterback. It's very typical for rookie quarterbacks to struggle when they get into the league. Yes, you have those anomalies that come into the league and have some success super quick. A guy that I'll point out now that really hasn't made anything easier for the judgment of Bryce Young's play so far this season is CJ Stroud. Him being significantly better than anyone could have anticipated him to be.
That's crazy, man. Ain't gonna lie. I did not want Bryce, bro. I wanted Bryce. I wanted CJ or Anthony, bro.
Definitely hurt the perception of Bryce Young this season. Again, he's just a rookie quarterback. I think what's interesting, though, is if you remember back to the pre-draft process, it was even reported that the Panthers wanted CJ Stroud instead of Bryce Young for a while. Now, coming out from all that, it sounded like Frank
I was
Reich
so surprised
was
we got Bryce.
CJ Stroud, but owner David Tepper did.
That is crazy. I wonder what that shit say now.
And they ended up going with Young at the draft.
That should piss me off on the price
I
every day.
do think CJ Stroud has looked significantly better than Bryce Young has looked this season, but I really don't think that the Panthers are a team built for really any quarterback to succeed in. It really isn't that talented of a team. Still though, Bryce Young has still managed to show some flashes of the quarterback that he could be. I mean, you could even say that he has looked kind of better in each week of the season. He just went 23 of 38 for 217 yards and a touchdown with no interceptions. That's huge. And we he threw for 3 touchdowns.
They even hurt my dog, man.
Having more than 1 in a game. But of course, the rookie mistakes were there. He also threw 2 interceptions. It was his second 2-interception game. The first.
It's not even Bryce, bro. It's this old line. So like
he's played.
I'm not getting up on that old line. That old line pissed me off. That old line, 79 and 72 is still on my hit list. I'm gonna drop a bad, man.
3 with an ankle injury, and so far he's thrown for 967 yards, 6 touchdowns,
they didn't put me out there at that
4
point.
interceptions. No,
this old. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Fuck. Oh, we play the Texans next week. Oh yeah, we gotta win. We gotta win, Bryce. We gotta win, Bryce. Gotta get us one. Gotta get us one.
Be an all-time for interceptions.
This nigga right here. Oh my goodness. Fucking retire, please.
That's not the prettiest stat line whatsoever. But before you go hitting the panic button, I'd really just take a breath because there's been plenty of
Oh my goodness. I had so much high hopes
bad
for him,
rookie
bro.
quarterbacks that have
I was like, bro,
I
was talking so much. We had Hurst, we had Thielen, we had Chart, we got JC back healthy. DJ was good. We got Shaq, Luvu, like Burn. Like we was gonna snap this season. We was gonna snap. First game, I was like, bro, we ain't going to the ship. We ain't going to. And this nigga Mingo, can't catch for shit at all, bro.
Peyton Manning was
can't catch it all.
He threw 28 interceptions, and it was rough. But as we know now, that worked out for him.
Oh yeah. Fuck Peyton Manning. Never liked him.
His brother Eli wasn't really even much better in games that he played in as a rookie.
He ain't had to do us like that on his last game. Like, that was real fucked up. I ain't gonna lie.
Guys like Alex Smith who were really bad. Matthew Stafford was bad.
Like
it really doesn't matter how bad you are as a rookie. All those quarterbacks I just referenced at least went on to have a good amount of success in their career. So
that nigga had he had OBJ, Cooper, Van, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald. That team was stacked.
Rookie year.
That team was stacked, bro.
Anything to panic about. Just relax. Now, there are plenty of problems with the Carolina Panthers roster. Like I said before, it is an untalented roster.
But we have talent.
There. Probably the biggest issue you can see week in and week out is that this team needs a top wide receiver in-house ASAP. And I'd say they're even in
Thielen doing his thing, though.
There are a few teams that make sense for a trade and stuff
but Thielen's wide receiver too, ain't gonna lie.
Bad teams. If the Bengals
he ain't wide receiver, he wide receiver.
It seems like they're turning it around, but if they do continue to struggle, T. Higgins might.
I want T. Higgins. I want Judy. Who else is up? Who else? I don't know. To be honest, I'm not into it like that.
Be on the move.
He has been
banged up somewhat this season, but he's been good, and he's on the last year of his rookie deal. So at the very least, if you do somehow manage to have a trade with the Bengals to land him, he will be cheap. Then you got Cardinals wide receiver.
No, I seen that. No.
Marquise Brown, who's about to be a free agent.
No.
I like Marquise Brown. I think he's solid, but it really does feel like if you went on and picked him up, it wouldn't change your team.
It wouldn't change nothing.
It feels like picking up another very good but not great wide receiver. And frankly, this team needs a great wide receiver.
Yes.
Jerry Jeudy is under contract for 2024.
Really
he's always involved in trade rumors. I like Jerry Jeudy. I feel like he has a lot of potential to be a really good wide receiver in this league, but the drops have killed him over his career.
Man, go get Dante. Go get DA. We need Adams.
And I'm sure how he's handling the back
I want
end of
Adams.
his time in Denver isn't too appealing
we getting
for
Adams.
front offices. Regardless, though,
Adams
it would be a
on
good
the
pickup, and it would immediately improve their team. Now, this next one is kind of a reach. To see this happening is pretty far-fetched. Devontae Adams.
Yeah, sign.
5-year, $141 million deal with the Raiders, so he would be very expensive. But to act like he wouldn't come in and immediately make an impact on this team is ludicrous. He would come in and just completely change the passing game for this team. Granted, that doesn't change how bad the offensive line is or how bad everything else is, but having that #1 connection with a wide receiver that can constantly get open would be a huge help for him. Now, another team that's bad is the Bears, so maybe give him a call about DJ Moore. That's never going to happen. I mean, they traded for DJ Moore when they got that first overall.
He seemed happy over there.
Pick. The Bears have a death grip on that man.
We had DJ. Nigga, we had McCaffrey. We had Curtis Samuel. We had
They're not letting him go anywhere.
We had a team.
I think the saddest
we had a team, bro. We was at least average.
Feel like the whole wide receiver
and Bryce Young with a can in.
Better if they did still.
Like that was so dumb. If you think about it, okay. I guess the Colts was in front of us. Was the Texas in front of us? The Texas was in front of us. Who was in before? It was the Bears. I think Texas, Colts, and us. We would have had one of them. We would have had C.J. Stroud, Anthony, or Bryce. We would have had at least one of them now. The Bears just wasn't finna get a QB. They just wasn't finna do it. They just wasn't finna get a QB. Ain't gonna lie, it just wasn't. I don't think they was gonna get a QB. We would have had them, bro. And DJ and Bryce
had more, you probably wouldn't have had the
first
overall pick and been able to.
And we'd have had Thielen with them. We would have had. So man, we
land Bryce Young. So there were some pros and cons to that trade.
Would have been like that.
The trade will no doubt hurt the Panthers a lot if Bryce Young doesn't end up being good. If you remember that trade, they traded a lot to get that first overall pick. They gave up the 9th overall pick, which the Bears then traded with the Eagles, who went on to select Jalen Carter, a 2024 first, which if they continue to be
what the hell the Bears are
going to be first overall, aka Caleb Williams, the 61st overall pick, which is tight end.
I don't even want Caleb Williams. I don't even want, if we could, I don't even want his ass.
Bryton Strange and a 2025 second. The Bears really did get a haul for that first overall pick, as they should have. But if Bryce Young doesn't turn it around either later this season or next year, looking back, that's going to be a bonehead trade from the Carolina Panthers. Now, it's not like the Panthers did nothing in the offseason after getting that first overall pick and then getting Bryce Young. They did try to add a few wide receivers to the team that were viewed as pretty good. Adam Thielen got signed, and so did DJ Chark. Now, those are both two wide receivers that have had plenty of success in the past. I mean, I think DJ Chark only has one 1,000-yard season, but still both good wide receivers that were supposed to come in and elevate this passing game. It's only been 6 games, but I think they've been just about what you could have expected them to be. Nothing too good, nothing too flashy, but, you know, solid. And that just kind of feels like it's the whole team. Kind of solid, but not good enough to win games. I mean, maybe Jonathan Mingo can slowly develop into what the Panthers need him to be. He was a 2023 second out of Ole Miss. He could be good, but so far, just haven't seen it.
Butterfingers.
Now, of course, a huge reason for why Bryce Young is not
line.
Well is the
my goodness
line. It's not
good.
My
goodness, they're killing his ass.
And I know coming out of college,
look what I said. Said you're not getting his ass whooped.
Or being able to
said not getting his ass whooped.
Legs. But
what happened? What happened?
Feels like other rookie quarterbacks, CJ Stroud has done a much better job doing it, even though he didn't show a lot of it in college, and Bryce Young did. I just don't know if the current play calling in Carolina is really optimizing the talent that Bryce Young has. I think they could do a lot of things different that would make him look better. I don't love some of the personnel decisions on some of the plays they run, and frankly, I just don't think they have the roster to fulfill some of the things that they're trying to accomplish on the field.
The whole team, bro.
I don't think their wide receivers are good enough. I think the run game could be solid with Miles Sanders if the offensive line wasn't literally garbage, and the defense is a very, very fine.
I don't even blame them.
It's not anything insane. They get burned. It happens. They're fine. But fine's not going to win you anything in the NFL. Clearly, it hasn't for the Panthers, considering they haven't won a single game yet this year.
Now,
I know I'm being a little bit harsh, but like,
game.
frankly, this
season
we playing
like the Bears. We playing like the the old Jets. Like the Jets was just never good. Like the Cleveland Browns, they're just never good.
Really
that's how we playing, bro.
This is purely a season based off of just seeing growth from Bryce Young and growth
like,
from the team.
When you hear the Jets and the Browns, you're like, oh, that's an easy game. That's what it is. But we just need to be like, oh,
I like him.
When people like, oh, we play the Panthers, you like, ooh, we play the Panthers. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we play the Panthers.
He kind of got shafted in Indianapolis with all the quarterback turnover. Outside of that, Indianapolis should have been really good under him. But you know, that Andrew Luck retiring thing just completely screwed him. Now he's in Carolina, and he's got that quarterback of the future with Bryce Young, who I did like in college, and he should be able to succeed in this league. They're just things that he does week in and week out that I see, little flashes here or there. They're not consistent whatsoever, but when I see them, I'm just like, man, this kid could be so damn good. But unfortunately, the team around him isn't. And that's going to continue to hold Bryce Young back. Now, I know some Panthers fans are itching towards pressing that panic button. It's been a lot of disappointment over the past couple of years, but it's only week 6, and this dude's a rookie, so just give him time.
Fire the whole team. Besides Bryce, fire the whole team. I like Bryce, but fire the whole